Alright everybody, it is time for another smoke detector unboxing video. So here we go. I don't want to cut too deep because I don't know how much packing material they've put in this box. Oh man, wrong way. Alright. Oh god. Ooh, shredded paper. Always makes a mess everywhere. Okay. Here's the box. Ooh, you're not even in frame. Smoke detector. Amway. So let's give it a look here. Should I cut that tape? I feel like if I tear it off, it's gonna destroy the box. Yeah, let's do that. I don't want to ruin the box. I don't know why they taped it in the first place. They didn't have to. Okay. Cut as much of it off as I can. I really don't like it when people put tape on old boxes. But anyway. Alright. Okay, here we go. And there's the manual, and there it is. It's in the holder, kind of like the old BRK First Alert models. Wow. Wow, it's really thick. It's a lot thicker than I thought it would be. Yeah, it's about the same size as the Teledyne ones, but or like in diameter, but it's like just a bit larger, just a bit thicker, I think, than those. Yeah. I don't think it came with any batteries or anything. It did come with the mounting hardware. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, let's take you guys down here now. So this is the Amway Amgard smoke detector. Model number E-8444. Now, this is actually the very first one of these Amway smoke detectors that I've ever gotten. And these were, this was not the first model they came out with. The very first ones they came out with were about the same size, but they were a little bit different. They looked almost more like the Teledyne models. They had a big circle in the middle. And I think the very first ones didn't have any test button features or anything like that, but then they came out with another one that had on one side of the disc, you'd push it in, it would be the test, like the regular alarm test, and then the other side, it would be the low battery test. So the one that didn't have a test button or anything at all like that was the E-8315, and Jan Eaton actually has one of those. And then they had the E-8375, which was the version that had the test button. Now those ones were the ones that came before this one, and they were a rebrand of the SmokeGard 800A, very similar to the Teledyne Waterpick Model D1, which I do have. Those are a rebrand of the SmokeGard 800A. But this one came out just after that one, I think after the E-8375. And this one is actually a rebrand of the SmokeGard 809A, so the next generation model, basically. If you look in there, you can see it has the same sensor as the 809A. It's a SmokeGard sensor. And then the horn right there, it has that same Molex style horn, which you can sort of see in there. It does have some extra added circuitry, as you can see, because in addition to the regular alarm test button, it also has a low battery signal test. So that basically tests like the chirping function of the alarm when the battery gets low. I don't know what this means, the low battery switch. So maybe there's something in the manual about that. But yeah, I'm not sure what that's for. But this one, it also has the LED right down there. This one is just a little bit different though, because if I take the bracket off of this one here, it was already off, you can see that this one takes 3 AA's rather than the very first ones. Or no, sorry, I think this one actually was the first one that was used the 809A circuitry, because they had a slightly later model, the E-8964, which was the also a rebrand of the SmokeGard 809A, but it took a 9-volt battery rather than 3 AA's. I thought it took 6 AA's for some reason. I don't know, but because the original ones, the 800A rebrands, took 6 AA's. But there's the label, as you can see. It is the E-8444. I don't see a date code on here or anything, but I think this one would have come out in probably the late 70s to early 80s. Now, this right here, the seller did warn me about this. The battery terminals were all corroded, and the seller could not get it to work. I'm going to attempt to clean it up and get it to work, because I think it probably would still work. But yeah. So, oh, and then, right, I think that either at the same time as this model was being produced, or the E-8964, the 9-volt model, they had another model. It was the E-9309, and that one is really rare, and it looks almost exactly like this model, except it has another horn, like another vent like this on this side, so it's basically symmetrical. And the LED, instead of being at the bottom here, is in the middle, and it's a little bit bigger lens. But that one is much different. That one is a rebranded BRK83R, actually. So they reworked the BRK circuitry, which is kind of interesting. And Nathaniel Lind has one. He has a video of his on YouTube. So yeah, now I guess I'm going to try to power it up. I might try to clean up those battery terminals first really quickly with some rubbing alcohol, just to see if I can get it working. So bear with me, I'll be right back. Alright, so I took some rubbing alcohol and a cotton swab to the battery terminals, got as much of that green corrosion off as I could, and this is the result. It works! And as you can see, the LED does flash. It flashes, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be flashing quite that fast. That seems pretty fast. But it's lit constantly when the alarm is sounding. It actually pulses just a little bit as the alarm is sounding, which is pretty cool. But I'll also do the low battery test for you. So it just basically tests the low battery signal function, which is pretty cool. And the LED like strobes really fast, which is pretty cool as well. Yeah, so I'm really glad that I got it working. When I first put the batteries in, it did struggle to sound a little bit, but I just like kind of twisted the batteries a little bit and I got it working. So do one more test for you. Sounding a little bit unevenly. I'm not sure if that's because of the corrosion on the battery terminals or if that's maybe it somehow affected the circuitry. I don't know. But it does sound in a somewhat 5/6, somewhat even 5/6 pulse pattern, which the SmokeGard 809A often did. So yeah, I couldn't figure out what this thing was for. We're gonna read the manual in a minute, so maybe we'll figure that out. But yeah, we'll do one more test too. Oh yeah, that's the corrosion affecting it, as you can tell. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm happy with it. So I guess we'll look at the manual now. So here it is. This is the manual for only the model number E-8444, or in Canada, E-8444-844C. So here we go. And of course, if you want to read it, you can go ahead and pause. Oh, I wonder if is that battery low? Those are like brand new batteries. Oh, that's how the okay, so I see how the switch works. So basically when the battery gets low, you can switch it to low, and it'll basically like mute the chirping for a few days. Okay, I'm gonna actually try that out. Maybe it'll stop chirping if I slide that switch over. Whoa! Sorry about that, folks. Camera fell there. Okay. There we go. It's kind of hard to switch. So the thing that says replace batteries comes out. That's pretty cool. Oh, that's the page we already read. Let's see if it chirps anymore. Oh, it's still chirping. What? Maybe the circuitry got messed up somehow. I don't know. These are some pretty cool drawings. I also like that they call the LED the pilot light, just like how SmokeGard did. That's a pretty cool drawing of the smoke going into the vents on the unit. Oh, there's nothing on the back. Okay. So, I guess that either the low battery switch didn't work, the batteries are too low, even though they're brand new, or the circuitry's just messed up. There we go. That thing is really hard to switch. I wonder if there's something... No, it looks like it's just a slider switch in there. So I don't know why it's so hard to turn. That's strange. Oh well. And then another thing I wanted to mention is this is my very first, as I said, this is my very first one of these Amway smoke detectors. But I had repeatedly had a dream about one that I think I'd saw in a house or something that I think it looked pretty much exactly like this, except it had a block of text right here that said the first Amway SmokeGard. So that was just a little funny. Just something that kind of became a meme to us. for some time. So now I finally have my first Amway SmokeGard. But yeah, that was just funny. But anyway, I didn't show you guys the box, or the rest of the box. So even though there really isn't that much, it only says Amway on the sides. The quantity. On that side, it's covered up with some old tape. And then fragile handle with extreme care, this side up. And it's still chirping. Oh, there's a date. 6/20/81. So this is from around 1981. That seems about right, about where I guessed. So, I don't think there's anything that I left out about this one. Yeah. I'll do one more test. It kind of struggled there at the end. It was like beep 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 beep. It was funny. Yeah, I think that might just be the batteries like having connection issues due to the corrosion. But yep, that is the Amway Amgard. Actually, they don't even say Amgard on here at all, so it might just be Amway. E-8444 smoke detector. Thank you guys so much for watching as always, and I will see you in the next video.